Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Cheryl Turner. I'm a master coordinator with Shackley, the Green Company. Thanks for joining us. The side hustle really is new job security. We can do click and order instead of brick and mortar. And if you're looking for a change, whether it's to make a difference, a side hustle, maybe a new career. I was basically retired, and we have cutting edge, high tech ways for people like me who didn't know a lot about high tech to get a piece of the gig economy. You can have truly leveraged income. And you have great timing because Shackley is just beginning a global expansion. We have cutting edge nutrition, organic skincare, and green products. And that's the biggest part of the wellness industry. We picked wellness because it's $1 trillion market. We don't want to have to create a need for something. And this industry is just getting started. It's growing twice as fast as the global economy. Time magazine said that nutrition and healthy lifestyle prevent up to 90% of major diseases. I know that nutrition is a lot more affordable than hospitalization because I've done both. Like I said, we have personal care, beauty, healthy eating, nutrition, and weight loss. Even that part of the 7 trillion is a $2 trillion market and growing every day. Plus, one of our favorites is MindWorks. It helps us cash in and get a piece of this gig economy. It gives you 3 times the brain power. It's made a huge difference for Marty and I since we started on it. And I love that Archimedes said, "Give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to place it, and I shall move the world." And for me, I didn't want to do all the work myself. I was very happy to have a system that I could plug into, and it made a big difference for Marty and I. And the top 3 trends in the world today: e-commerce, wellness, and side gigs. And we are right in the middle of all of them. Wellness has gone mainstream. Whether you're at home or on the beach, if you have Wi Fi, you can get paid to help others live healthier lives. And the wellness industry is just taking off. Look at this: physical health, financial health, emotional health, environmental health. Hello, Shackley. We're in the middle of all of these. It's financial, emotional, and environmentally healthy for us. It really is true wellness. And we are the only company with clinical proof that our supplements build health long term. We're going to talk a little tiny bit about the money. You don't have to build a team if you don't want to. In fact, I called my friends and family when I got amazing results. I had neck pain for 20 years. And when I started using these products, I woke up one day and I thought something's wrong. And I realized my neck didn't hurt for the first time in years. And so I called my sisters, my friends. I said, "You don't have to build this business, but you have to try these products." And along the way, some of them got as excited about it as I did. And they shared with a few friends, and it took on a life of its own. But let's say you share with 3 people. Some will, some won't. So what? But let's say the 3 share with 3 and you have 9, and those share with 3 and you have 27. That's a total of 40 people. That could put you at director. And people spending about $150 a month. I know for me, I was going all over the place buying vitamins from different stores, trying to get the best deals. I didn't even care if they were expired. I just wanted to get them on sale. I didn't realize the value of potent, powerful products. But when they are spending that, and not everybody will, but some will, again, if it averages out. So you might want to do more numbers, like 40 people. That would mean people doing half that volume. But that makes you a director. At 2000 PV, you can be a director, but at 4000 PV, you're going to make more money. And now down here on the left, we have a picture of her granddaughter's garden. When she was 5, she put her Halloween pumpkin in this little garden, seeds and all. And she said, "Come see my garden." And there were flowers because the pumpkins were flowering all over her garden. She said, "How many pumpkins will I have?" I said, "Well, honey, every flower could be a pumpkin." She goes, "I'm in the pumpkin business." And now we know every flower didn't grow into a pumpkin, but some did. And you can count the seeds in a pumpkin, but you can't count the pumpkins in a seed. So, what if you planted some seeds and shared some wealth and health with friends? What if you planted a lot of seeds just for fun? You could have a big pumpkin garden. And look at, if you took that one step farther, the 3 who find 3, With 27 people finding three, that's 81 people on your fourth level. That's 121 people total. Now, again, what if they were all buying 100 PV a month or $150 a month? That's 12,000 PV. You're way over the qualifications for senior coordinator. We're going to look at some fun numbers for that. But if two of your frontline promote, you have one other person maybe at the minimum, the 2,000, and you have somebody who's doing a lot, you can be promoted to senior coordinator because you help them. You help them get started. Now, who's going to have the biggest harvest? The one who plants the most seeds. We're going to take a real quick look at our chart here. And you can freeze this, look at the numbers. Remember we talked about director? Here's the numbers for director. A director averages, let's see, what is that? Average of the lowest third is $5,000 a year. What would you do with that? Would it pay your house insurance? Maybe a car payment? The average for a director is $12,000 a year, $1,000 a month. That can make a huge difference for a lot of people. And then you get all kinds of other perks. There's a global conference, you get one night hotel credit, you get a VP elite trip by then because you've helped enough people. And then what if you work it over here to that senior coordinator? Look at, even at the lowest, it's almost $18,000 a year. And that's almost enough for most retirees to live on. In fact, it would have been enough for me until I bought two places in Florida and then had our place here. But if I hadn't built this business, we would have never bought a beautiful home in Florida. And Marty and I are what they call master coordinators. So go on over to this far right here where it says master coordinator. Look at the average for the lowest third. It's $111,000 a year. Even if you suck at it, you make six figures. That is powerful. I never made this kind of money in any other business, and I've been in this industry since my baby was born. She is 46 years old. I'm just so grateful that we found Shaklee when we did, because you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And here's some rank up bonuses. Now, they've had these for quite a while. I know at least they had them when we came in 21 years ago. And look at what you can earn now as a senior director, $1,000 over and above the other money they're going to pay you. The coordinator's $2,000, senior executive $5,000. Look at key coordinator. Let's just stop there for a minute. $7,500. When Marty and I got to key coordinator, we did it within the time limit because you have to do it, I think, within the first year, and then you have to hold it. We were paid $6,000 as a rank up bonus for key, and we were so excited. That was a lot of money. At the time, we had a friend who was pastoring an inner city church. They were going through some challenges. We were able to buy them an 8-foot by 12-foot illuminated sign at an inner city church. We could have never done that on our budget. So it has made a huge difference for us, and we've been able to bless others too. Shaklee pays a higher percent of every dollar than any other home-based business. And you can go into your member center. It's all free. We've got a get started plan. You can download it. They've got a comp plan downloaded. I put some of these things up on our team page, and you can download them from there. And of course, Shaklee makes no guarantee because they don't know how many seeds you're going to plant. But you can earn multiple rank up bonuses in a year up to $20,000 a year. That's a lot of money. What would you do with that? That is life-changing. And now here I have a picture of Marty and Silas, our little grandson, our middle grandson, actually, when he was a year old. So this is 15 years ago, 16? Yeah, he'll be 17 in a month. In fact, he's coming with us to Chicago this month. He's going to Money Camp. They have a kids program, but you can't go if you're over 16. So this is the last year he can go. But you can get paid daily when you help people get started. And we're not going into the whole comp plan. You can look that up on the Member Center. But you are going to get 30% of their first order, their first 30 days. And you're going to get it right after they put the order in. Within 2 days, you'll have that money in your bank. You don't have to have an inventory. We have digital tools that are free. You know, years ago, like 40, 50 years ago, I used to own part of a construction company with my kid's dad. And I can't even begin to tell you what our tools cost in the construction company. And in this company, they're free. So you can go in, set up your website, share it with people, and you just never know. And there's support, there's mentorship. The Shaklee community will help you build your future and your family's future. What Marty and I have done is affecting us, our kids, our grandkids, and our great grandson. So here's some resources for you. There's a Shaklee Share and Grow Business Building Community Facebook group. I would recommend you check that every day. And if you're not one to go online, learn how to go online. If you want to make a difference and if you want to make a rock solid income and a lot of money and help a lot of other people and impact their lives at scale, plug into this information. Every day there's new information there. And on Mondays, they have a live Zoom. Today we had a wonderful Zoom with a good friend of ours from out east, Jeannie Tubel. When we first came to Shaklee, Jeannie was on stage at the conference we went to. And afterwards, Marty was asked to speak at an event out east with Jeannie Tubel. He goes, "Who's Jeannie?" I said, "She's the smart, funny, classy one." And I just love Jeannie. She's amazing. She's my age, so she's in her 70s somewhere, and she's making high six-figure incomes and having fun doing it. So all the information for the Monday Zoom is here. I always just go in on the Facebook group. I don't go into Zoom and have my picture up, and it doesn't show anyway, but I go on the Facebook group. I can congratulate people when I see them getting awards and things like that. And then we have a Facebook team page called Paid to Be Green Team. Don't forget the team. That is our active page. We have these weekly meetings every Monday night. Marty and I are here at 8 Central, 9 Eastern, and you just go to zoom.paidtobegreen.com. And all of our trainings are recorded at paidtobegreen.com. You see a theme here? We are definitely paid to be green with this business. I've never seen a company that's so earth friendly, first climate neutral certified. I'm not going to go into all that. That's another whole training. And then I have a little generic health Facebook page called Small Steps to Holistic Health. I do not focus on the company brand. It's just different ideas to help people think better, look better, feel better. And there's apps, Shaklee Connect, the Shaklee Share app, lots of things that you have. Again, these are free apps. You guys, this is your business. Even in the travel agency that my sister and I owned, and I'm talking 30 years ago, our computer system was $70,000 30 years ago because we had to have a government approved computer system that was secure. I mean, when you have tools like that and you can move into a business like this and they're free tools, it's hard to believe you can make money. But I make more money in this business than I did in either one of those. Now we're going to show you a little picture of some of our team members. Not going to go in naming names and everything like this. When we first started our business, I didn't know hardly any of these people. Well, I knew the young lady in the top middle. I gave birth to her 48 years ago. So it has made a huge difference for us. And these people are business leaders. They've come a long way, baby, and they are the leverage and the fulcrum in our business. We could not do what we do without these amazing people who have huge teams. I will mention one over here in the lower right corner. That's Marty with Carmen and Sean out on some golf course. I don't know where. But Sean and Carmen are global leaders. They're presidential masters. They have a bunch of presidential masters, and they're on our fifth level. And that's not a bad thing. So we're happy that when Sean first came into the industry, Marty trained him. And now Marty always says the student has become the teacher because Sean passed him. And we're great with that. We love that Sean and Carmen are so successful, smart, hardworking. They've done so many wonderful things and helped so many people, again, at scale. So we're grateful for our Shaklee family. Working from home has given us options we could not have imagined. Don't care where you are, it's never too late to be what you might have been. George Eliot said that. And I know when we first came in, there was a lady in the front of the room. And again, this is 21 years ago. I'm in my mid 50s and I'm thinking, am I too late? And the lady up in front of the room, who I thought was my age, said, well, I started my Shaklee business 30 years ago when I was 50 years old. She was 80 and I thought she was 50. So there's a lot of things. Look up the telomere studies. You'll see all these amazing people who all look 20 years younger than they are. And it's not just that they look good, they feel good, they think good. They're on a 0.6 of a prescription for people over 70, over 60 years old. That's unheard of in this industry. And I love that Will Shakespeare said there's a tide in the affairs of man, which, when taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. And if you like big numbers, you're going to love these. Shaklee's paid billions to the Shaklee family. They've saved billions of plastic bottles from landfills. And over the years, there are millions of healthier families. And we don't have to choose between saving the planet and financial survival. We get to have a life and help others do the same. And I love that we can bring people with us. So with that, I'm going to stop and I'm going to have a little chat with the people who've joined me tonight. But I hope you see something here and that you check it out. Good luck. Bye-bye.